Yeah, it is what it is. This is the Dawn in the building. Dawn on Sport Entertainment. I tell you, Queen Elizabeth II is gone. Oh my goodness. Football have been cancelled in EPL this weekend. As you all know, ISTV, we got something to talk about. No dull moment in our studio. I welcome everybody. All fans around the world. Tribute to this woman, monarch, Queen Elizabeth, who died yesterday after 70 years of reign. I tell you, the longest monarch has ever lived. Beautiful in England. He reigned over the UK for 70 years and died at 96. Well, we got so many things to discuss in today's show because the show goes on. Come on. All beautiful fans watching this video anywhere you are. Please let me tell you something. Please subscribe to the channel. It's a Continental Sport TV. This is how we do it. This is how we roll. I have in the studio okay, Adebari, fantastic brother from another mother. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? Tell me something.
Yo, the Dawn. It's a pleasure to be here as always. Big shout out to all the fans joining on the show worldwide. It's a pleasure to be on Intercontinental Sports TV on the Friday.
I tell you, bro, so many things is happening. I tell you, EPL cancel until further notice. Yeah. I want to start with you. First, we are playing today. We are paying tribute to this woman, legend for me, Queen Elizabeth II. Is there anything you want to talk about this woman? Or the letter been served by EPL board that the game has been cancelled? Can you read it for the viewers? They want to hear it. Come on, let's go.
At a meeting this morning, Premier League clubs paid tribute to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II to honor her extraordinary life and contribution to the nation. And as a mark of respect, this weekend's Premier League match round will be postponed, including Monday evening's game. Further updates regarding Premier League fixtures during the period of mourning will be provided in due course.
Wahala. Everywhere, wahala. All right. Smash the like on the video, everybody. Let's do this. Come on. In today's topic, I want to show you guys it's all about EPL being cancelled. We got to talk about it. Please smash the like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's go do this. It is what it is. So, okay, everybody, what's going on over your side there? How do you feel?
To be honest, it's sad. It's sad to see that a great monarch like that is gone. If I'm being honest with you, this might sound silly, but I never actually imagined her dying. This is someone that has been ruling way before I was born, and I'm accustomed to her presence. I mean, the English national anthem says "God save the Queen." Mm-hmm. I hear it all the time. Anytime the English national team is about to play football, so it seems like a norm. So it feels very strange to hear that she's dead. Um, and I think it's just one of those historic moments in the history of the world, especially in these last 2 years, spanning from 2020. A lot of absurd things have been happening in the world, and I think this has to be one of it. But I would choose to remember her in the right way because she was one person who clearly supported every aspect of the economy. And I was saying in football in particular, thank God for the FA Community Shield. We know the Community Shield and the FA Cup as well are two tournaments which the royal family take very jealously. Every time we have an FA Cup final, a representative of the royal family is always there.
Always there.
Same thing with the FA Community Shield. The Community Shield is the traditional curtain raiser to the beginning of the Premier League season. The Queen is always there, and she was so open to meeting athletes, and she was always present at every ordination for outstanding sportsmen who would get the honor of order by the British Empire, OBE. There are so many sporting individuals who have been granted this honor. The likes of David Beckham, Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger. The list goes on and on.
Rashford.
Yes, even Marcus Rashford,
Yeah.
The list goes on and on. And as an Arsenal fan, I'm very proud. Arsenal was the only team to have ever had
We've started
one-on-one.
We've started again.
But it's the truth. This is an historic moment. Arsenal is the only team in the history of the Premier League who has had a good sit down with the Queen. And many rumors have it that even Prince Williams is a great Arsenal fan. He's one of Arsenal's biggest fans. So, and I'll share a joke with you. That
all right,
as a former Arsenal player, Emmanuel Eboué, he shared about the encounter when they had tea together. Arsene Wenger and Thierry Henry leading the delegates of the team to go and have this meeting with the Queen, and Richard Masters, the former Arsenal owner and CEO. He already said to the players, "Look, you need to be on your best behavior." So immediately that was said to the players and the manager. They already knew who the culprits were. Emmanuel Eboué being one of the greatest jokers in the Arsenal team, he was particularly warned by Arsene Wenger and even Thierry Henry. And Emmanuel Eboué did share that immediately they got to the palace, Henry looked at him again and said, "Look, Emmanuel, we are meeting the Queen of England. You need to be on your best behavior, no jokes and whatnot." And Eboué being Eboué, after the Queen shook his hand and she was about to turn, he then called her again. He called for her. He said, "Queen," he said, "please, at this point in time, I'm tired of playing football. I don't want to play football again. I want to come and work for you. I want to be walking your dogs. I want to be batting for your dogs. I want to be the carer for your dogs. That is what I want to be doing for the rest of my life." Immediately, she started laughing. Everybody started laughing. And then she told him, "You know what? Go and win one more trophy. After you do that, then I'll employ you." That just goes to show the type of person that she was. She was a great supporter of the industry of football and even sports in general. I remember during the Olympics as well, the 2012 Olympics, she was one of the ambassadors. She graced the events, and there are so many good things to be said about her. I mean, she witnessed 7 decades of ruling since she was 26. Imagine? She witnessed every World Cup that ever happened.
Yeah.
That is greatness. That is greatness personified. She has been through the period of colonization, decolonization. She has done great things and been at the helm of great things. And it's a call to glory for one of the greatest monarchs and one of the most historic personalities in the world.
Absolutely.
So it's a great loss for England, the United Kingdom, and the world as well. May her gentle soul continue to rest in peace.
I swear down, it is what it is. But what do you think of it? Yesterday, or is it? Yeah, this morning, the announcement came out that the football should be stopped for this weekend. What's your take on that? Do you really agree with it? Because so many people so many comments flying around the social media. Some people disagree that other sports are not being affected, but why is it only football So many people are traveling. So many have already booked their flights and hotels to watch. I mean, games. Why is it only football? Where other activity will continue to go on. So, what's your take on this? Because it's really baffling. For my own case, I felt the decision is not good enough. Oh well,
Yes.
what do I know? But what's your take on that?
So first of all, I would say that let me state the fact that I am not against paying respects to the dead. I believe yes, we should pay respects to the dead, and I understand the magnitude of the individual who has left. However, it is important to note that the royal family already said that you know what, no need to put things on hold. No need to put things on hold. It is left to each sector and to each industry. It's left to them to make a decision on if they want things, if they want to observe, should I say, I think the best word to use is if they want to observe or pay respect by not going about their usual daily bread. So I was surprised when the Premier League then came out this morning to say that, you know what, no Premier League fixtures this weekend. Fine, the EFL already said no fixtures. So that means no fixtures in the Championship and all the other lower leagues. Yeah. They can afford to do that with all due respect to them. However, with the Premier League, we're already in a very tough season.
Yeah.
Starting from last week and honestly, till the end of this season, you would see that almost every week in a month is a double game week. It's a double match day week, basically. Because, first of all, we have the World Cup in Qatar, which starts in November. So we're going to be having a mid-season break for the first time in history of the Premier League. And then we still need to finish off the season by May so that we can get back to the usual football calendar. So it's going to be tough. This is going to be very, very tough. Knowing that a whole match week is going to be taken away is difficult. The worst part is that we're still going to be having international breaks. The usual international breaks are going to happen. The first one is already scheduled in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it feels like, if I'm not mistaken, we might not actually see Premier League football for almost a month because international break takes a whole week, meaning no midweek game, no weekend game.
Yeah.
So I really hope that the Premier League had premeditated this decision. And obviously, as far as I'm concerned, it can only mean that the previous plan to have played half of the Premier League games before November is not going to work. Meaning each team is going to have a game in hand. But I believe this just brings extra pressure on Premier League teams, especially those who don't have a good squad with quality, especially those who are battling injuries. They will struggle. This is when this is when football fans will now understand and appreciate the essence of teams who have big squads, but not just having a big squad, but having quality in the team. Certain teams will suffer this, but thankfully, we have the 5 substitution rule which the Premier League has adhered to this season. I'm very happy that they've taken to it. They were the last of all the top flight teams to take to it, since because this is one of the effects of COVID. But other leagues adapted to it, and it's been part of them. I'm glad finally the Premier League has taken to it. So let's just hope that teams will be able to take care of their players. There are teams who are playing Champions League football, teams who are playing Europa League, teams who are playing the Conference League. The English Premier League is one of the very few leagues which has 2 domestic tournaments. I'm talking about the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup.
Yeah,
that comes as well. Fine, we can say the FA Cup doesn't really start till January, but we'll still have the same situation come January, meaning an influx of fixtures. The Carabao Cup will still be progressing. We'll be getting to the important stages very soon in a couple of weeks. So at the end of the day, I don't support this decision by the Premier League. I thought that just to pay respect to the royal family and the Queen, I just felt like, players would put on their black armbands, or
Yeah.
maybe 2 weeks, and we will have 1 minute of silence. I felt that's what would happen, and I felt that should have been
No,
the
that should
thing.
have
That
been.
should have been the norm. That should have been the best we could have done.
But
We can go
calling the
ahead to
game off.
say
No, no,
yes.
no.
We can go ahead
It's
to say okay, maybe every second minute, standing ovation from the fans. After aside the 1 minute of silence,
yeah.
you can say maybe you want to extend every football game now to 96 minutes
I just-
just for that weekend. I don't mind. I don't mind. But just like you said, there's a business aspect to football. The tickets that have been sold, the
Sold.
hotels that have been booked,
Come on. Come on,
plans
man.
already made, interstate
That
travel.
decision is it's sad, man.
Honestly,
Really,
and
really sad.
let's talk about the least aspect, which is the mindset of the players. It takes a lot for players to be mentally ready for games. It takes a lot for coaches to prepare their teams. So bringing players back to focus, yes, you say that they are professionals, but they are human beings at the end of the day. Teams will tell you that, managers will tell you that they were probably in the best form of their life going into this particular game week. They would have been ready to kill off any team that they will face. Now they will be tasked with keeping the players focused, keeping the players healthy,
Yeah.
hopefully the players not getting into trouble. Especially those young players. It's hard for you to keep players focused, especially in this generation. So when it now seems like they are just going about training and there's no certainty as to when football will resume, it's a problem. And let's just hope that this postponement is only observed for this game week, and
I hope so.
and the EPL will resume football as soon as possible. And when I say as soon as possible, I'm talking Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's have the midweek fixtures and let's continue with the EPL.
That's it. That's it. Well, it is what it is. But for me, I think that decision was shambolic. It's not good enough from the FA to cancel the match for the weekend. According to what you have said, they should have done it in a way whereby maybe a minute silence or could have been achieved through that. But canceling a whole, oh no, it's unbearable. But now let's talk about, at least we have one or two things to talk about. First, over the week, Champions League were played yesterday. Europa, I know a team that lost yesterday. It's all right. And some other team, they won fantastically well. But if you look at it, let's talk about Manchester United for a minute. Can I ask you one?
Fine.
Can I say something like, during the match yesterday, look at that officiating. Was it a foul? Was it a penalty in your case? There's a question I want to ask. Was that a foul? Was that a penalty given to Real Sociedad?
It was not a foul. It was not a penalty. That has to be one of the most shocking decisions I have seen at the highest level of football in a long while. Over the last couple of years, especially the last 6 years, we've had consistent changes to the handball rule, right?
Yeah.
And I've done due diligence to always keep up with it and to understand the decision of officials and why officials make many decisions. So let's dissect it. First of all, there was no intent from Lisandro Martinez to handle the ball. There was absolutely no intent from him. The ball was struck at him. So and it's not that the ball was struck and he put himself in the way of the ball. No, he was standing in a particular position and the ball was struck at him. It was a reflex action for him to try and move himself out of the way. However, in doing this, you could see an immediate reaction from Lisandro Martinez not to handle the ball. He wanted to go down immediately, thinking that it was going to be a low ball and he would use his body to block the ball. Obviously, him turning away, he did not see the trajectory of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The ball, first of all, even hit his leg and then hit his forearm. Not his hand, not his fingers, his forearm. So that is clearly, there was no intent for him to handle the ball. That is the first thing. And fine, yes, it was in the box, but you could see that he was almost moving in a position where he wanted to put his hands behind him. At the end of the day, when he fell down, his hands were behind him. So I really don't understand that decision from the referee. And I am even more appalled that VAR was used and the VAR reviewed that decision and the VAR said it was a penalty. And the ref himself admitted to that. So when decisions like that are made, it's very, very shocking. But the worst part about it is that it cost Manchester United the game.
Yeah.
It cost United 3 points. That is the most, that is the biggest factor from that decision being given. I did not support it. It was a wrong decision in my own opinion.
All right, look at what Kunle Fayiga is sending a message. He said Premier League is the biggest export in the United Kingdom. They need to show example and pay respect to the Queen. She is the biggest figure in the Commonwealth. You know, I said there's going to be so many different opinions towards this. You know, someone is going to say this, someone is going to say they have to. Different things coming up about this. Another comment coming in from Kunle as well. He said the penalty given to Real Sociedad makes total mockery of VAR, but it's technology fans yearn for. So we get what we asked for.
But you know, I will say this. I understand where Kunle is coming.
Is Kunle not supporting VAR? That's my question. I wish you could call on this program.
That last aspect of him saying this is what we yearn for, I agree. I was one of the people who was yearning for video assistant referee so that we can curb the human errors of referees. And then I remember vividly when we had the test run of video assistant referee during the 2018 World Cup. Look, the protocol for it is not being followed in the English Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely.
The kind of controversy around video assistant referee that we have in the English Premier League, we do not have this in other leagues in the world. It is quite clear that English Premier League officiating, it seems like, apart from the English Premier League officiating, the English Premier League itself seems to have coined some extra rules when it comes to the video assistant referee. If you ask me, it's quite evident. It's quite evident. When the video assistant referee was rolled out at the 2018 World Cup, first things first, once a decision needs to be reviewed, the referee goes to the monitor.
Yeah.
To go and take a look at it again. In the English Premier League, not every referee goes to look at the monitor. You know. And then the second part is that each referee has that autonomy to actually overturn the VAR decision. Most referees decide to rely on the VAR decision.
But why is it like that? Why is things like that?
I really don't understand. But you know what? Let's not take things out of context too much, because at the end of the day, this was even in the Europa League. So a decision like this happening in the Europa League is now worrisome. Before we were saying, okay, decisions about VAR controversies were only in the English Premier League. Now this has happened in the Europa League, the second top flight European competition. Thankfully, this is not happening in the Champions League, and I hope I hope there's never a time on this platform where we have to discuss controversial decisions of the video assistant referee in the Champions League. It will be a huge problem. There will be a huge
I swear down.
But nevertheless, this happening last night has not gone well with Manchester United fans at
all.
And also neutrals of football, people who really care about the nature of the game. So something needs to be done about this. I believe UEFA needs to look into this, and we need better decisions going forward concerning video assistant referee. If referees worldwide need to be rebriefed about the guidelines of the video assistant referee, if there needs to be reorientation for it, or if there needs to be new rules that are set out, let's know what we are doing. Let the fans know that all these governing bodies of football and all these football associations have done what they need to do in terms of briefing the referees, educating them as they ought to be, and letting us know that there are repercussions for these referees not doing the right thing. Let us know so that the fans will feel
absolutely.
Will feel objectified. We will also feel appreciated. So it doesn't feel like we are lashing out of bias and we are just being biased to our teams. Referees need to know that if they don't do their job and if they don't do what needs to be, there will be repercussions for it.
Yeah.
We do understand human error, but there's a reason why video assistant referee existed. Let's let these governing bodies and football associations help to clear the bias of video assistant referee towards certain teams. In England, we believe sometimes there's a bias to Manchester United and Liverpool. In Spain, they believe there's a bias towards Real Madrid. So let's clear the bias. Let these football governing bodies do what is right. Let the football associations fall in order as to the prerequisites given by the governing bodies of football.
All right, okay, let's quickly read some super chat from here. We have Chinedu Blessing saying, sadly to say, as Lady VAR, oh my goodness, it's obvious that VAR is causing more controversies than the initial aim intended. Another one from Kunle says, I sometimes think the Premier League deliberately wants to create controversy with refereeing. It keeps the league in the discussion, and they like it. Wow! Oh my goodness! Another one from Kule. Yeah, look at this from Dotun Samson. It says, "I think money needs to be spent on the refereeing sector, especially in England. The best league in the world needs to have the best refs." That's true. That's true. I agree with that. Yeah,
I agree. Because when was the last time an English referee was put in charge of a high-profile game? I'm talking about Champions League finals. Yeah. I'm talking about World Cup.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Europa.
To the best of my knowledge, the last English referee who officiated a high-level game had to be Howard Webb. And that was way back in the 2010 World Cup. And after that, he retired. I can't say the same for Mark Clattenburg. I cannot say the same for Mark Atkinson. So really, what's going on?
I tell you. Kunle says referees enjoy a whole lot of immunity from criticism. It will continue that way. Well, I think that's how it's going to be for forever. There's nothing we can do or say about it. Another thing, look at the match over the Champions League. You see Real Madrid winning their game, and also it seems Barcelona, are they back?
It's safe to say that they are back, and that is scary. Barcelona currently have to be one of the scariest sides in world football, I have to say, because prior to the season starting, I did not give them my backing. I felt like Xavi didn't have it in him to actually make that thing tick. But it seems like he has come together with a good formula working for him. Majorly having someone like Jules Koundé playing at right back, and then the combination of Rafinha and Dembele. Because I just felt like both players are right wingers. I felt there would be competition for both of them. But it's quite obvious that both players can contribute to the team playing on either wing. Especially Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele is probably in the best form of his career. He's very, very dangerous right now. Giving assists right and left, fighting for every ball, and he's playing without fear. So first of all, it's clear to know that he's above his injury fears right now, because in previous seasons it was difficult for him trying to get back into full gear when coming back from injury. But obviously he's much more mature now, 25 years old. He understands his body. He knows how to protect himself better. Some of his worries when he was at Barcelona were part of his problems as well. He didn't used to take care of his body well. There were reports from Barcelona saying he wasn't sleeping well. He would be up all night with his friends, playing FIFA, going out for parties, coming back late. But he has matured, and many football fans are crediting his new vein of form to his wife that he married, because now he got married over the summer, and this is somebody new that he started dating. And he's been more public about his religion, which is Islam. He seems to have matured, and he's doing much better. So a big thank you to Ousmane Dembele's wife, who seems to have put him on the right track. And Xavi has to have done his homework. We've seen that with the players who he has let go of. I was surprised that he let Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang go. But obviously that just goes to show that they needed to offload their books, they needed to offload the wage bill, because they did bring in certain players, and they were not really done this summer. They wanted to bring in Bernardo Silva.
Can you
That was
imagine?
someone that he wanted to bring in before the season ended, but that didn't happen. He might go in January, he might go in the summer. Let's see what happens. But Barcelona currently have a great squad, and let's not forget Robert Lewandowski. He didn't really have a good preseason. He didn't score any goal in preseason till the last official preseason game. And I was one of his critics because I did say that Lewandowski was shooting blanks all through preseason. But from the last preseason game up until now, he seems to have found his feet. We can see good link-ups with the likes of Pedri and Gavi, and also even with Dembele as well. At the age of 33, it seems like Lewandowski is getting to more heights in La Liga. And obviously, we're excited to see that head-to-head between him and Karim Benzema, who sadly got injured in the game against Celtic. Hopefully, he's not out for a long time. But kudos to Barcelona and Xavi. They seem to have things going for them.
Yeah. Let me read a comment from Dotun Samson. It says Xavi has them playing again the old Barca way, and when you have the best striker in the world, Lewandowski, they are bound to succeed. They have strength. They have strengthened in the right areas. I think they've really done very well. This
yes, they have done well. You know, let's talk about the players that they've signed. They've signed. First of all, they started with free agents. They did good business at the end of the day. You know, before the season ended, it's obvious that Xavi and Laporta sat together to know the way they wanted to move the team going forward. They immediately went to go and hunt for Andreas Christensen from Chelsea. His contract was ending at Chelsea. Chelsea offered him a new contract. He said, "No, look, I want to go and play football with Barcelona." So Christensen was there. Frank Kessie as well, who just won the Italian Serie A with AC Milan for the first time in 10 years. He was an integral part of that team, especially under Stefano Pioli. And despite having a good relationship with Pioli, despite being loved so much in AC Milan, he said, "Look, I want to take my career to the next level. I want to play for Barcelona." He went there as well. And then the signings of Rafinha, that was a huge statement. Getting Rafinha from Leeds United and them clearing out competition, talking about Arsenal and Chelsea, absolutely fantastic. And then the likes of Jules Koundé as well. Look, they brought good players in, and obviously not to let go of Robert Lewandowski. Great signings.
Hold on.
Great signings from Barcelona.
There's so much noise there. I'm trying to pick up a call from someone. I think the noise is too much. Please if you want to call back, please call back. And okay, I'm trying to pick it up. Yeah, I lost the call again. Look at this statement from Chinedu Blessing. It says, "I agree with Okwe. I think it will be difficult." Hold on a second, once again. Hey, bro. Can you hear me? Talk to me, bro. Where are you calling from? Okay, can you hear the person?
I can barely hear the person, but I think if the person wants to call, first of all, the person should not be logged into the show, and the person should turn down the volume of their TV so that we can hear them very well.
Okay, can you speak?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, we can hear you now.
Okay. Like I said, I'm calling from Ibadan, Nigeria. I want to contribute on the show because I think I like the topic you guys are talking about today. And I want to talk about most importantly that Manchester United's match.
Okay.
Because yesterday I was much more than pissed off at the officiating, not at the performance of the team. Because of course, for someone like me, I was surprised by the fact that Eric Ten Hag fielded a weak side for that match against Sociedad. Then his first match in Europa, and of course his first match at home. That aside, but just like Okwe said, I think it is becoming something more of an eyesore where the VAR as well as referees make very, very questionable decisions that they cannot even defend, and they run under the umbrella of VAR, come and save us. Because now I begin to ask this question. A defender had to block a shot that was aimed at his goalpost and at his goalkeeper yesterday. Please, for the love of heaven, Where in God's name do you want him to put his hand? His hands were not flying. His hands were not flying all over the place, and his hands were not erratic. Let us look at the picture again. Let us take a look at the video again. That defender was just simply trying to block the shot. So where do you want him to put his hands? Where do you want him to put his hands? And the issue there is, or the argument here is, the ball did not even hit his hand. The ball hit his feet, then it hit his hand.
Yeah.
So, and you not begin to call into question what is the referee doing on the field at that point in time? Why do you need VAR? And I think VAR, yes, is there to make the human error as little as possible. But I think it has begun to make referees lazy. Because referees don't believe that, there's a technology that will bail us out. So I really don't need to pay that much attention on the game.
All right, Mr. Papi, are you saying you don't like VAR? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I'm not saying I don't like VAR.
Okay.
I'm saying that the referees should be held accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
Should not always bail them out as the first resort.
Yeah.
They should do their job properly, and they should pay attention in the course of the game. That is what my call is about. Because I was pissed off yesterday, taking a penalty for something that shouldn't have been given in the first place. So that is my solution on the program. All
right, thank you so much, bro. We appreciate your call. Thank you so much. Keep watching this channel. Thank you so much. Okay, once again, a lot of comment has been flying in. Look at that. Margaret Apan is saying VAR technology needs to be totally reformed, or else it will become a disaster. But that wasn't an excuse for Man United not to have performed well against Sociedad. That's valid. Another call is coming in straight up. Hold on a second. And the next topic we're going to talk about is Professor Tuchel in the building. I tell you, whether he's going to change his name, we're going to find out. Professor Tuchel in the building. All right. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's the name? Who is calling?
Okay. Hello, good evening. My name is Margaret. I'm calling from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria.
Let's do this. Ideme. All right, let's go. What do you want to tell us today?
Okay, I want to talk about VAR.
All right.
It has been for a while now. I think there have been calls for VAR to be reformed, for them to be reformed, and I think it is high time they look into it. Fine. We understand that at first when the VAR was introduced into football, we were all happy because we felt okay, it's going to help check out all the controversies and the inconsistencies of referees.
Yes.
But it now turns out that it's the other way around. But according to the to penalty laws or law of the game, it states that it is only handball if a player touches the ball with their hand or arm when it has made their body unnaturally bigger.
Yeah.
And if you look at what happened against Lisandro, when David Silva fired a shot from inside the box and the ball bounced up Lisandro Martinez's leg and onto his arm. So it wasn't like it wasn't like it was a direct contact from ball from David Silva
absolutely
to Martinez's arm. And at first I feel if referees awarded it, and he now went to VAR. I don't know what VAR did. I don't know if VAR was again, if the referee decided, okay, I'm going against VAR. Or if it's the VAR that said it should be a penalty. Actually, I don't know, but that shouldn't have been. I mean, that wouldn't have been the reason for Man United not to perform, anyways. And also, same on VAR. I remember the game against Arsenal. Man United against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Though I was happy it was a clear foul. We saw what VAR did was okay, but I felt it was very late. VAR, should you wait for a player to celebrate the goal before you call their attention and said there was a foul? Do it immediately. Check it. I'm sure that is why VAR is there.
Yeah.
To check immediately. Why before they score the goal, it should be checked before you now call the referee attention for the goal to stop. Not when the player has already celebrated and the fans, rejoicing that the club has scored, only for VAR to overturn it. I feel that is another way where the VAR are not really, really consistent. A lot needs to be done. If not, it's going to be a total disaster.
All right. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you so much. I'm very thank you for calling. Looking forward to seeing you in the next of our show. Thank you so much. Let me quickly read this super chat for us. Omotaju Omolola. It says referees have been very lazy since the advent of VAR because they now see it as the first resort to build their incompetence. Yeah, that's true. The rule punishes defenders and make defending harder. All right. What do you want to say, Professor Tuchel?
Yeah, quickly on the issue of VR, I think it's the game against Man United against Real Sociedad. I think that call was a disgrace by the referee, to be honest, and the VAR, because look, I can still understand why the referee made the call because of the body position of Lisandro Martinez, but when such a goal goes to VAR, there's no way in the world that is given. So it questions who are these people in the VAR? Were they sleeping? What kind of people are there? And then bringing it back to England, we see these atrocious decisions every week in England, and you question the competence of these referees in the VAR room at Stockley Park. I think they should infuse. There's been call of them to infuse ex-football players, who are going to be unbiased. But I think that's where they probably cannot control it. Whether are they going to be biased, are they not going to be biased? That's the problem. But then they need people who have actually played the game, who know, some of them understand the body positions, they understand how a game moves, at fast pace, so they can interpret the situations better to these referees, because some of them don't know how it works, and then they go around, the goal against the goal that Arsenal scored should have stood. That was very soft. It was a very soft foul on Eriksen, and it should have stood. And because when you start questioning decisions like that, you're refereeing the game, and that's not what we want. We don't want to referee the game. The referee on the pitch should have much power. So yeah, that's my piece on it.
All right, so let's look at this comment again for Omotaju. Omolola says UEFA and FIFA should make referees accountable for their actions, and there should be sanctions handed to the referees. Do you agree with that, Okwe?
I agree, because if referees understand that when they make decisions that affects football games, there are sanctions to it, I believe referees will sit up. And I do agree with the previous comments, which said that VAR seems to have given referees a leeway to just make wrong decisions. And at the end of the day, I do agree that referees should understand and know, just like the way it's been stated by FIFA, referees at the end of the day have the ultimate decision, irrespective of what the VAR says. So I believe a referee should be confident in his own decisions, confident about what he has learned about the game of football, confident about what he has learned as a referee in training. I believe referees are way too untouchable, if you ask me, because a lot of referees nowadays, they'll make a wrong decision. At the end of the game, they take a look at it and they are so comfortable saying, "Oh, I made a mistake." Yeah. Meanwhile, you have cost a certain team 3 points. You have cost a certain team probably a title. You have cost a certain team momentum.
Yeah.
You have caused a certain player issues with his or her teammate and with the coaching staff as well. These are the issues. It's a
Yeah,
problem for me. One
but
thing that I've noticed. Sorry, Prof. I want to remind you of something. You made very good points concerning VAR, especially this decision that was made with United, and even going back to the Arsenal game. If you remember when we had the rollout of VAR in 2018, when a VAR decision is being made, we have cameras that show where the referees in VAR are.
VR.
What
Yeah.
has happened since 2018, especially in the Premier League? We don't see the referees in the box, in the VAR box. So we don't know when they're making these decisions. We don't know if they are actually reviewing it as they should be, and
of
they are
course they
paying
are.
attention, and they are actually communicating with each other, and they are rubbing minds together before they make an informed decision to the main referee. Where's that camera? We don't see those views anymore.
Well, on the issue of sanctioning, I don't think that would happen, because look, we all make mistakes in our work. Even if they can't be perfect. We understand that. I mean, the mistakes they are
No
making
doubt.
these days are schoolboy errors, okay? But look, we all make mistakes at our working place everywhere we go to, and then we don't get sanctions for it. Sometimes we just, you don't. For instance, if a footballer makes a mistake on the pitch, it doesn't. The team don't sanction them; they move on. So it's the same with the refereeing. I don't think they'll get to that point where if they make mistakes, they'll be sanctioned. But the VAR is there to help the referee out, and it's just sometimes is unbelievable. It's unbelievable to know that these decisions, they take decisions on the pitch, and then they have the advantage of going to the monitor to see it again, to have a second view, and yet
Exactly.
some of them still make the same mistake. It's
Because
difficult
the
to
whole
understand
point
how.
of VAR is to correct human error and to avoid human error. So
Yeah.
if we're not addressing that term of actually curbing human error and correcting human error, then what is the essence of VAR? That is the question.
All right, guys. Because of our time, I want us to talk about what happened the last week to Chelsea. Chelsea sacking a whole coach that won them the Champions League. I mean, I can say on, and it came to an end. The era came to an end over the week. I'm going to ask Professor Tuchel, being your name, your coach has been sacked, another coach has been appointed, a Brighton FC coach. Can you imagine? That has not won anything, coming to a big club like Chelsea. What's your take on this, Professor Tuchel? First of all, being a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, first of all, I can assure you that I won't be changing my name. It's still going to be Prof. Because he's a man that I really adore. I mean, look at what he has done. He's a fantastic manager. But look, I was really shocked when I heard the news that I was sacked. I woke up to the news and it was really shocking because I knew I ranted, on a private platform. I ranted over the night, saying that the game against Zagreb was just pathetic. It was a pathetic match. They didn't turn up at all. The whole of them didn't turn up, and so it was annoying, the game, and to watch Tuchel on the sidelines feeling helpless, not being able to change the game. Hakim Ziyech was one of the worst performances ever in his career, and so it was a terrible game to watch, and to lose in that manner. Look, the sacking of Tuchel, according to what I've read and heard, wasn't based on that game. I think the board they've been thinking about it. According to what I read, I felt like Tuchel had a conversation with Odboli, and
I think I lost.
He wanted somebody who could change the game, who has better man management with players, and somebody who's going to be there for a long term. And I think they found something not right with Tuchel. My God. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I think they found something not right with Tuchel, and they had to let him go. As with every new organizations that a new owner comes in to take over, I think Tuchel was bound to leave sooner rather than later, because it is what they do. I mean, the technical director, Marina Granosowski, Bruce Bock, the chairman, Peter Cech, and all that, all of them were sacked. They were sacked. They were relieved of their job. So it was always going to come down to Tuchel. I didn't know it was going to come down this early. I thought they were still going to give him time. But look, when you combine that with the terrible results that he has been putting in, we've not had a good game. Chelsea had just one good game, and it was against Spurs. The remaining games, they've been very flat. They've been terrible. And so It was shocking, but look, wish him well. The new coach, Graham Potter, yes, he doesn't have.
Yes, I want you to talk about that new coach.
Yeah,
now.
there are questions are being asked whether he can, he can rise up to the challenge.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. He's a fantastic manager. Just take a look at what he's doing with the Brighton side. Forget the results. Just look at the way they play. This Brighton side control formation, they control possession, control the game against. I mean, you're a Man United fan. You know what they did to you people. So they control.
We know. Just talk.
They control they control the game from start to finish. They have possession. They are good passers of the ball.
But Professor Tiba, hold on 1 second. When you're talking about, sorry, I cut you off.
Yes.
Sorry, I just want you to know that coming to a big stage like this, you have egos around in that dressing room. Big guys, can this guy do it? Can he control this major big boss there?
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, Don. It's a huge gamble by Chelsea.
Another caller is coming in. Let me pick it
up. All right.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello, the prof. Sorry, actually, this is Margaret calling back from Lagos, Nigeria.
All right, please.
Okay. I actually want to say something about Tuchel and also about Graham Potter. You see, I want to somehow agree with Professor Tuchel that Tuchel's sacking has nothing to do with the match, their last match that they lost.
Okay.
I think it has to do with when we look at it recently, Tuchel's behaviors and the way he talked to the press has actually changed and is complaining and all that. And when you look at it's actually the same manner in which he was sacked at
PSG
and also at PSG. It's the same issue. Look at it has to do with complaint. When once they complain about things and all that, it gets sacked. He's a fantastic manager. He did very well with Chelsea, but it was just cup games. What happened to the Premier League? When we look at his statistic in the Premiership, it has been not really been up to that. It has not been high. I mean, because we saw him, he did very well in cup games. He did very well, but though he didn't actually start. So for us to really know, okay, if you can actually give him the credit, or if you can give it to Frank Lampard in Champions League, we actually don't know yet. But in the Premier League, we've seen how poor he has been, even though Chelsea finished in third position. But I also feel Todd Burnley should have given him another season to see what he could have done. And then for Potter, he's a nice coach. But I want to disagree with you. For him not to win anything doesn't mean he won't win. But that depends on if Chelsea gives him that time. If Todd Burnley give him the time. He has signed 5-year contract.
Can you imagine? 5 years.
That 5 years. That is actually the question. He's a good coach. If they give him time, I'm sure he will mold Chelsea to a very good team. Brighton plays possession football, and since he took over either in 2018 or 2019, he has done extremely well with Brighton. He has made them a mainstay in the Premier League, and I hope that Todd Burnley will be patient with him and allow him to do his job.
All right, thank you.
You guys are doing a fantastic job.
All right, thank you, Maggie. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, she spoke well. She spoke very well on the issue of the egos in the dressing room. No doubt about it. It's a huge gamble by Chelsea Football Club to hire Graham Potter, who hasn't worked with big players before. But if you look at like Margaret said, the length of the contract of 5 years, I think there's a significance there. It shows that Todd Bowley is ready to give this man time to work with the players. And Graham Potter, for me, is a very unique coach. He has a master's in I think he went ahead and studied about emotional intelligence, if I'm correct. So he knows how to manage players. So this is a man who knows who knows football and goes another length in he knows how to relate with players off the pitch, which is also very important. So with the issue of managing big egos is yet to be seen. We can't say for sure how he will perform, but I think he will do. I think he will adjust well. Is the next is a huge job for him.
But you know what, Prof, this player. What about the players this guy has already signed? I mean,
Yeah, to be honest, look, if you look at
because
most of the signings,
Graham coming now, he look for his own player. He might want
yes,
to. I mean, there's no time. You don't have
no,
time
yes,
for.
but
You have to wait for another transfer.
You're right. Look, apart from the Emerick Aubameyang signing, I can attribute that to Tuchel because of the relationship they had in Borussia Dortmund. But look, the remaining signings, I presume were club signings. If you see when Fofana was signed, Todd Boehly was with Fofana at the training ground. They were side by side. It was almost like Todd Boehly was the manager. He was talking to. He did everything on his own. Todd Boehly did everything on that transfer on his own. He went to have his medicals in the United States. So most of those signings were club signings. Fofana was a club signing. Cucurella, Cucurella is fantastic because he's going to be reunited with his boss who made
leave that one.
it was Potter who made Cucurella who he was. So I'm just trying to say the signings are actually board signings, are actually club signings. Aubameyang was for Tuchel, but yeah, he's a fantastic player. He should want to perform. He has a point to prove still whether Tuchel is there or not. So it's a huge gamble for Chelsea, no doubt about it. But I think Graham Potter will step up. I think he looks like a man that will step up to the challenge for me.
All right, because of our time, guys, thank you so much. One more thing I want us to just figure out is this next topic about Liverpool, the way they are playing at this moment. People have already been saying, is it about time? What's this coach, Liverpool coach?
Klopp.
Klopp, yeah. Klopp. Is it the time for him to? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to go. Time to go because. They just look so flat at this moment, as in they don't know what they're doing. So I want to ask you, in a quick seconds, because I just want us to, talk about that particular club. That's Liverpool. What's your take on Jurgen Klopp? What's going on?
Quickly, first of all, I think Jurgen Klopp was too relaxed regarding the type of players that he wanted to bring in this season. I remember the season after they won the Premier League, the players were so should I say unmotivated the following season. They were not performing at optimum level. It was back-to-back winning the Champions League, then winning the Premier League. You had players who became lackadaisical in their functions, talking about the likes of Van Dijk, Wijnaldum, and whatnot. It seemed like they were not so motivated. However, you have that half of the team who is always still hungry to play. And for me, I believe Liverpool should have worked on their midfield. They should have gone ahead to try and sign top class players. But Liverpool have become so, should I say, maybe overconfident in terms of their dealings. And they come with the aspect of, look, if we're going after a player, it has to be on our own terms and our own conditions. In today's current transfer market, it is very difficult. That's just the truth. It is one thing for you to say that you want to sign a player who can fit into your system, but you cannot really dictate the terms and conditions of how the deal is going to go. That is why Liverpool missed out on Timo Werner. And that's another reason why probably Liverpool were not able to convince Kylian Mbappe to come to Anfield. And that's why he, although Real Madrid was the biggest factor there, but Liverpool were also in it. And there are so many other players like that. So one of the major reasons they are having issues is because their midfield has dropped in terms of quality. Ibrahim Konate, who was a mainstay for them last season, he's been struggling with injury. And sadly, both Joe Gomez and Joe Matip have not been having the best of days. They've been in and out of the game. Joe Gomez was simply very poor against Napoli, hence them conceding 3 goals in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a huge problem for them. Having to rely on the likes of James Milner at this point in time, a 37-year-old who doesn't have so much energy left in him in terms of pace, is a problem. Chamberlain and Naby Keita, who are always injury prone, sadly they've not been able to ship them out of the club and bring in good players. What else? Mohamed Salah. So it's quite evident that Salah was a huge benefactor of the hard work of Sadio Mane. Mane was someone who made other players around him better, and that is sadly so evident right now. So I believe they need to bring in another type of player that complements Salah very well. Once again, I would say Darwin Núñez is a scam. I would leave it at that. Darwin Núñez is a scam. Horrible
All
first
right.
step for a player. Bad finishing. The goals he scored so far for me, pure luck. So Jurgen Klopp has his work cut out for him. On a final note, I believe we will not see Jurgen Klopp getting sacked. I believe he has the full backing of the board, and if he's going to be sacked, probably after this season.
Oh
He
my
has enough
goodness.
credit in the bank.
Oh, all right. Well, this is how far we can go, our viewers. Thank you so much. But one thing I want to say, I want to quickly ask you one question. Just tinkling questions, Prof. And that question is, should Chelsea drop Mendy?
Look, I don't think they should. I think Mendy comes back into the fray. He's a top goalkeeper. I think he's just out of form. Graham Potter has to work on him. Goalkeeping coach, they have to restore confidence back, and he'll be back in the starting lineup. Yeah.
So he should still retain, and Kepa
Mendy has to be there. He has shown his quality. He has to be back as number one.
Oh my goodness! All right, guys, thank you so much. Okwe, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you so much, bro.
Thank you, Okwe. Thank you, Don. Yeah.
All right, one love, bro. All right, thank you, guys. It is what it is. This is how far we can go today. Thank you, everybody that supported us one way or the other. We love you, man. Please subscribe to the channel. Once again, smash the like on the video. It is what it is. Tribute to this woman. Yes. Who reigned? That's Queen Elizabeth II. All right, guys. This is how far we can go today. That's why they call me the Don of Sport Entertainment. One love, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Bye for now.